Hi, this is Made by Mommy, and today I'm going to teach you how to use Rainbow Loom's new Monster Tail to make a pencil grip or a hook cozy using 5 pins. This is the easiest pencil grip to make. You can do this on your original Rainbow Loom, but the Monster Tail makes it a lot easier. And this is how it works. We're going to use about 100 rubber bands total. I'm going to use 3 colors. You're welcome to use however many colors as you'd like. Place your single rubber band like that. And then we're going to repeat our way around, making these sort of figure 8s over 2 pegs until we get all the way around in a circle. So you put one side on, twist, and then put onto the next peg. Including across the middle here. Since we're just making something wide enough for a pencil, we only need 5 pegs. Then for the next row, we don't need to twist them anymore. It gets even easier. You just put your rubber band on straight and overlapping them so that you're putting a new rubber band around each peg. So ultimately you'll have a circle of 5 rubber bands without any twists, just layered on like that. And then I'm going to do my 3rd color. And again, no twisting. You're just laying them on top. So that is your initial setup. Take your hook, and we're going to work our way around in a circle, taking the color from the bottom. It'll always be 2 bands, and bringing them up over the top of the pegs. And repeating that in each position. All the way around. And then push down to make sure it doesn't pop off, and add another circle of rubber bands all the way around. Now since I'm doing a 3-color pattern, I'm going back to the first color. If you have just 3, then you'll know the color that you just looped over is the one you're going to need to put on next. If you're doing a different number, you need to keep track a little bit by looking on the sides. So now that you've added, you'll have 6 loops in each position all the way around. And then you're ready to take your hook in, grab the 2 on the bottom, and bring them over the peg, and repeat all the way around in a circle. And then again, more rubber bands. I'm going to do this 2 more times, but really, and then I'll skip ahead to the end to show you how I finish it, because this is really just the same thing over and over again. For the pencil grips that I did, I repeated about 20 times to get this length. Is about 20 times around. up and over. This is really so easy. Once you get the hang of it, you're just doing the same thing. Just make sure to keep a thumb in the middle or to the side so that the other bands that need to stay down don't pop up. And I know this is not the first pencil grip ever made, but you'll see I finish it a little bit differently so that you can take them on and off and reuse these as many times as you want without worrying about it coming apart. So this is the last time around that I'll show until I get further along. And you just keep going around, taking the two from the bottom up and over the peg to the top. And pushing down, or once it's long enough, you can tug it from the bottom to make sure it's in place. You'll see this is the start of our pattern. I'm going to stop now and continue until I've repeated this pattern in the same exact way 20 times. Hi, so I've done that same step over and over, and here is where I'm at now. Tugging down, I'm going to add one more. I put the rubber bands on all the way around. And take the rubber bands on the bottom, both of them, up to the top. And the other side. And when you have this length, it's really easy to just tug down to make sure it doesn't pop off. And this is the length I like my pencil grips to be. You're welcome to keep going if you wanted to cover your entire pencil. But I'm going to show you now how to finish it off. So when you have whatever length it is you want, you would take the bottom color and bring it over so that you're leaving just one color on each of the pegs. And give it a tug again. And then whatever the next color in the sequence would have been, you're going to take a single rubber band of that color and you're going to do the unthinkable. You are going to cut it. Oh my goodness, she did it. She broke a rubber band on purpose. So now you have your broken rubber band and the completed length of your pencil grip, and we need to string this rubber band through each of these loops. I find it easiest to take them off to do so, since they're stretched out so far. So I'm going to pop each of these sides off onto my hook. Until I have all 5 of those here. And then I'm going to take the rubber band and pull it through them. Very slowly. You'll see I'm holding the 2 sides with this hand, and then using the loop that forms to keep on the hook and go through each pair of bands one at a time so I don't lose any. So once I've made it through like that, then I can let go of one side to pull it through. And now you'll see each of those loops is around that rubber band. And very simple from here. We tie it like we're tying our shoelaces. Cross over and tuck under and through and pull tight, and then repeat again. If you do it once, it will slip, it will not stay. You need to do two. So I'm crossing over again, and I wish my fingers were invisible, but that's not possible. So making an X and then bringing one side through the loop like that, just a basic knot, and pulling tight. And now that is secure. So the last finishing touch is to tuck in these ends. You don't want to trim it here, because if you trim it here and then stretch out to fit in the pencil, it could come apart. So what you want to do instead is put your hook back through these loops and then catch the end and pull it through here, and do the same on the other side, catching that loose end and tucking it into these loops, and keep going around until you don't see it anymore. There's one's disappeared, and now we'll make the other one disappear. Oh, it came out. Silly. Push it in. There we go. So now they're both invisible. And this can come on and off of your pencil or your hook, whichever you want to put it on. You would just slide straight in the center here and wiggle it down until it's in the right place. There you go. I hope you enjoyed making this pencil grip or hook cozy with me today. If you did, you'll probably like my other tutorials for designs on the Monster Tail. I have a tri-peg, 3-peg fishtail video. I also have a little doll figure that you make on the Monster Tail. You make this really cool round skirt, and then she can stand up on her own, which is pretty cool. And of course, I have a ton of videos for bracelets and charms that you would make with a traditional rainbow loom, and a whole bunch of charms that you can make using only a crochet hook. So please like, subscribe, and comment, and loom with me again another day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.